Right now we have skilled trades available in electrical, HVAC, and carpentry. And we will have plumbing. Plumbing is currently paused due to lack of instructors, but we are hoping to get plumbing back up soon. So if you can hear me, if you could just let me know in the chat that you can hear me, and that way I know that that I'm everything is good to go. Okay, awesome. And I understand, yeah, we were told 5 o'clock, and I understand some people were told 6 o'clock, but so I'm not sure quite what's going on with that, but we'll go ahead and roll for 5 o'clock and see what's going on with that. Thank you so much for letting me know in the chat that you can hear me. Tracy Parker should also be joining us at some point. She's our program coordinator, and she does have a slideshow ready for tonight, but we have been told several different times over the past hour or so. So I'm going to go ahead and just explain our program briefly, and then I'll take questions. And if we have another session at 6 o'clock, we have another session at 6 o'clock, and that's fine too, okay? All right. So if you could at some point put in the chat what program you're interested in, and that way I kind of know how many electricals we have and how many plumbings and carpentries and HVACs we have. And I can then mention those as we go. Okay, we got somebody for health. Oh, okay. All right.
Hello, Via. I have the presentation whenever we are ready to start.
So, okay, I did see somebody say health. And just to let you know, we do have medical assisting, EMT, a number of different health related apprenticeship programs, but they are not what we do. Similarly, automotive is not what we do, and welding. Those are apprenticeship programs that happen through the credit side of the college. So those are people who are taking classes towards diplomas and degrees, and that would be health and automotive and welding. And they then have apprenticeship as a possibility that they can do, but they don't have to do as they're earning their degree or diploma. What Tracy and I are going to be talking about are skilled trades apprenticeship programs, and those are leading to the Journey Workers credential, which allows you to work as an electrician, HVAC technician, or similar in the field. So the classes that we have are not classes you just sign up for. It is a whole program leading towards that credential. So if you're not interested in a skilled trade, then I don't know that this would be helpful to you. It might be, but it might not be. You're welcome to hang out and listen with us. But the programs that we are presenting are just leading towards a Journey Workers credential in skilled trades. Okay, so I'm going to let Tracy take it away and go ahead and open up her presentation. I am going to leave the chat open, so if you want to message me or you have a question in the chat, what are some opportunities in skilled trades? We're going to be talking about that, Brianna. We're going to be talking about that right now as part of our program presentation. If anyone else has any questions and you want to put those up in the chat, you're welcome to do that as well. But go ahead, Tracy.
Okay. And okay, so I tried to share it. Is it not? Let's see here. Let me know if it's not working. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that is, let's see here. Bear with me here. Okay. Well, let's see. Let me do this another way. Is it not showing, or is everyone able to see this first slide? I know it says no notes, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can see the slide. It's got the welcome to the WakeWorks apprenticeship information. We'll begin shortly. So I think if you click on the slide, you
Okay,
might get
perfect.
to the next one. There we
Okay,
go. Yep.
cool.
Okay.
Good deal. Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry guys, I'm getting there. So my name is Tracy. I'm the apprenticeship coordinator that works with the skilled trades department of the WakeWorks apprenticeship department, and then Via is the career navigator who works alongside me to help with our pre-apprentices that are enrolling in the program, and she also assists our apprentices as they journey through the program as well. Um, Apprenticeships is a great opportunity for students to gain education in the fields of their trade field while they are also working and having the opportunity to provide for themselves and their families. Um, we build the building futures is one of the things that we really present that people can expand their career while earning a paycheck, which is a great thing in this day and age. You can come to school 2 nights a week and learn about your trade as you are continuing your education while working and providing for yourself. And we have several different pathways. In here, we have also partners within the county, but we have several different pathways that we offer for our people interested in apprenticeship. One being apartment maintenance technician, another one is carpentry, and then electrician, EMT we offer, and then HVAC are our pathways that we offer as the skill trades or the non-degreed programs. Each of these will start out as pre-apprenticeships. Some do lead to apprenticeships, but not all of them lead to apprenticeships. The emergency medical technician and the apartment maintenance technician are just pre-apprenticeships, which means it's training only, which will prepare you to find a job. But the others can lead to an apprenticeship where you will work with a partner, business partner. We help you to gain a job with that company. That is the goal. And then once you have a job, you then transition from a pre-apprentice to an apprentice.
And with the emergency medical technician, you do have the opportunity then to move over into the paramedic program and get your paramedic degree. So just to let you know with that one.
Okay. And then here is just like a basic rundown of our degree and diploma apprenticeship opportunities. As Via was explaining, we are the non-degree programs. We in the skill trades, there's electrical, HVAC, and carpentry. Um, the degree side offers a couple more. There is plumbing and welding. They have the automotive, some engineering. They have more medical, and then they have other um, apprenticeships in like accounting, hospitality, early childhood education. So if you're interested in the diploma side or the degree side, there's actually another coordinator and career navigator that can help you um, like go towards those career goals. And what you can do is there is an interest form, which you'll see the link at the end of the presentation. You can fill it out and you can indicate what pathway you're interested in, and then the program assistant will make sure that you get to that career navigator and that coordinator if you are interested in one of the degree or diploma pathways that we offer. But tonight we're going to be talking more about just the skill trades, which is the non-degree HVAC, electrical, CAMT or the apartment maintenance, and then the carpentry. So, and some of the benefits of an apprenticeship is it does jumpstart your career. It allows you to grow professionally by just gaining relevant skills through classroom and on-the-job training, which is provided here at Wake Tech. And then you also earn credentials as you go through. Our program is administered, we administer a program called NCCER, which is a nationally accredited program that you earn certificates for. You would get certificates for every level of apprenticeship. There's 5 levels. And then at the end, you would earn a craft level certificate as well as a journey worker certificate, and those are national credentials that you could take with you anywhere. So that is really important, and um, it's a very good thing to obtain. So, and it's going to cost you nothing because there is actually funding for these classes. So, which is a great opportunity.
Yeah, and
Um,
just to follow up a little bit on the journey workers credential, that is through the Department of Labor. It is nationally recognized, and the journey workers credential allows you to work as a professional in that field anywhere in the United States. So if you were working as a journey worker electrician in North Carolina, you could also go work as a journey worker electrician in another state. It's transportable.
yes, it is. That's a wonderful credential to have. So, okay. And then another benefit pay, this just gives more information on benefits of an apprenticeship. Saving money. WaitWorks will help come alongside thanks to a grant that we've received through Wake County, and we will pay tuition, books, and fees. And then if you're hired as an apprentice, so if you transition from the pre-apprentice, which is what you start out in the first class, or maybe even the second class, then you would, once you were hired by a company as an apprentice, you would get a toolkit to help you get started in your employment. And then obviously another benefit is you would be actually earning a paycheck through the company that you are hired with. So you're getting to work in your trade, your field that you're wanting to go into, and earning a paycheck. And then Wake Works will fund the classroom for you. So you will actually end up with your journey worker certificate and all of your certificates at no cost to you, which is an amazing benefit to you. Um, and then also here we do care about our students. VIA is our career navigator, and you would, as long as you are a pre-apprentice or an apprentice with our program, have support from her. She would help you with all of your coaching services. She would help you to prep for, we have hiring events, or actually we're having a job fair coming up soon for our students that are ready to get into the workforce who are in our first level class. And she helps you with all of that preparation for your resume, doing interviewing skills, and just any situation that you have that you need help with. She is there to help just navigate and coach you through. Is there anything you would like to add, Bia, since this is about your support? I'll let you take
Since
it
you
away.
since she's talking, she stole my slide. I don't have that
I'm
many, and she
sorry. Yeah,
just stole it away. No, we're just here. Coaching is here to make sure that any barrier, anything that you experience would be sort of, if we can take it away or help you reduce it, we would do that. Now, as far as the timeline is concerned, I see we have a question in the chat. In general, the program takes usually about 3.5 to 4 years, and you are working in that program for at least 3 of those years. So you have to have 3 years of employment to get your journey workers. That's required by the Department of Labor. So we can't make the program really any shorter than that. And so we space the classes out across those 3.5 to 4 years so that you are ending your last class about the same time that you get your final credential. The program generally runs, your classes will be 2 nights a week from 6 to 9. So you'll either be 6 to 9 Monday and Wednesday, or 6 to 9 Tuesday and Thursday. There is an occasional Saturday class, but that's not very common. And that's usually because we're bringing in an outside instructor who doesn't want to come on 2 different nights for something like an OSHA certification or something like that. So the program, that's basically the length of the program. And then typically we don't normally offer classes in the summer. So you would be working throughout the program, but you would not always be attending class. Start out attending class. Hopefully you get a job. The apprenticeships are competitive. So we do not guarantee you an apprenticeship, nor do we place you in an apprenticeship. We connect you with companies that are hiring apprentices, and then we support you throughout your apprenticeship. But we can't guarantee you an apprenticeship because it is a private company. The majority of our students do get apprenticeships, but it is competitive. And so you're just taking class until you get your apprenticeship, and then you'll be working throughout the rest of the program, and you'll have classes spread out over that time. Did that answer your question? Hopefully. If it didn't, please ask a follow-up question in the chat, and I'll do my best. All right. I think we're done on this one, Tracy. We can go on.
Gotcha. All righty. Okay, after successfully completing the apprenticeship, you'll have your education. You'll have built your resume because you would be working in the field. And obviously, our company's desire is to keep you as an employee. Just because you complete your apprenticeship with the company doesn't mean you have to leave that company because they have invested, like Via was saying, 3 to 4 years of training. You work with a one-on-one with a mentor. Or you'll have a mentor that works alongside you. So they have invested in your training. So many companies do like for their apprentices to stay on with them after they've completed their apprenticeship. So, I mean, certainly you then have all the credentials to go wherever you would like. But we do have companies that do like to retain you and are able to, usually make that enticing to you, I should say. And then we touched on the national credentials that you would earn. You would earn a Journey Worker Certificate, which is nationally recognized, as well as your NCCER certificates for each level that you complete, as well as a trade certificate at the completion of the program. And then you have a career that in the trades that is so right now. They're just people are need trades work. They need tradespeople. And unfortunately, there are more people retiring than there are coming into these trades a lot of times. So companies are very excited to work with our students. And this is a video. I don't know that we could not get it to work, but we're going to give it a go and see if I can get this little video about apprenticeships to play.
Oh, we got the video, but no sound. While that video is playing, since Tracy's working on the sound, I'll just give you a little overview too of what you can expect on the job. Generally, our apprenticeships in skilled trades start between $16 and $21 an hour. They are full-time positions. They do typically include some form of benefits, although that can vary widely because we have, like right now, we have 37 different electrical companies that are working with us. So the benefits are different at each company, but generally you have paid time off, you have some form of health insurance. Some companies have a lot of benefits, some not so many. But you are getting benefits as a full-time employee. And we do have a progressive pay scale, which means you're guaranteed a raise every time you finish a level class. You're guaranteed a raise on the job. So that pay will then go up over time. It is contracted and guaranteed to you. The company can pay you more than your progressive pay scale, but they can't pay you less. So that's sort of what you can think about financially. And then when you complete the program, journey workers typically earn between $55,000 and $75,000 a year with their journey workers credential and 5 to 10 years experience. So that would be what you would be earning working for a company. If you decided to start your own business, your hourly rate would be higher when you're performing work in the field, but then you would also be having to manage like marketing and sales and the financial parts and things like that. So that just gives you an idea of the potential that you would have working in the skilled trades. and it does not look like we are going to get sound to work. So,
Yeah. Sorry.
apologies for that. That's
Yes,
okay.
I'm still, I was going to give it one more shot, but we may just have to move. I may go back to it if I can figure it out. So let's
But
just
if
move
you
forward.
do Google that line at the top, Apprenticeship NC, Apprentices in the Skilled Trades, you can pull it up on YouTube and you can watch this video on your own. We apologize that it's not playing.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's see. And so the eligibility criteria for our certificate programs are you must have a high school, be a high school graduate or have a high school equivalency. And we do now require our students to pass the TABE test, which measures your competency in math and reading. And this just ensures that you would be successful in the program. And then Via, do you want to speak to that TABE at all, or?
Yeah, so the TABE is just a test that, again, it measures it doesn't do anything with writing. It measures reading comprehension and basic math skills. So, not anything past beginning algebra, basically, is where you would need to be to enter into our program. If you score lower on the TABE, then our cutoff, our benchmark to get into the program, you do then have the opportunity to take adult ed classes to prep up for that. And that way you can improve those skills and pass the TABE and then begin the program. So the college does have a way of getting you still into the program if you have problems with the TABE. It just might take a little bit longer because you might have to take some brush up classes in reading comprehension or math. But we do have those training programs available. And that way you can be sure that you can get in. We do just want to make sure that when you come into the program, you're prepared to succeed. And because the program is funded by the Wake County Commissioner's Office, we can't have you fail classes and then come back and fail classes again and then come back and fail classes again. So we want to make sure you're ready to go when you come in. Okay. I have a question about starting a business. Could the Small Business Center help me find references or classes to take to start an online business? Do I have an online business? Okay, yes. The Small Business Center at Wake Tech, which is over on our Western Wake campus, which is in Cary, does have resources for starting a business. They have a mentorship program. They have a startup program that's called Launch that is just for starting new businesses. And they can give you all of the information about starting a business as far as in terms of getting it registered legally, capitalization, marketing, branding, all that stuff is available through the Small Business Center. If you are interested in starting a small business center, you would also may want to look at SCORE, SCORE, which is the Senior Corps of Retired Executives in Raleigh. And they also have a mentorship and job training program for people who want to start their own businesses. For companies that hire carpentry, we have everything from rough framing up through finished carpentry. So we do have rough framing carpentry where you're building houses and framing and trenching and putting in forms for concrete and foundations and that sort of thing. And then we have companies that do things like rebuild after fires when a part of your house catches on fire and you need somebody to come in and rebuild that. We also have companies that do finer finishing work like kitchen and baths, windows and doors, trim works and things like that, and commercial companies that have that do large apartment buildings, some of the large apartment buildings that are coming up. Where can I find a list of trades in this program? We do not release a list of our companies to people outside the program, and that's just because the companies don't want that. They want to be able to be in control of their hiring and not be like pestered by people. So most of the companies do not want us just sending their names out all over the place. But once you are in the program, we do connect you with companies in the trade with which you have indicated that you want to have a pathway.
Yes. And
Okay.
then at the end of the slides, there's a URL that you can go to take you to our interest form that will also list what trades are available as well. If you wanted to just see like, what we offer. But the companies would not be listed, as Via said.
And then the Western Wake campus is on Kildare Farm Road, south of Cary. You would go down Kildare, past Tryon Road, past Penny Lane, and it's down the back part of Cary. And if you started a company and you decide you want to take a break from classes, that your employment would be up to the company. So you can typically take a year off and come back without a problem. So, but you would want to talk to the company about that as far as maintaining employment. What trades are available? Right now, we're offering electrical, HVAC technician, and carpentry. We do have a plumbing program that is currently paused, as well as sheet metal and masonry that are currently paused for lack of instructors. Prior experience does absolutely help you in the hiring process. Anything in construction or skilled trades helps you get a job. And I would say probably about 40% of our students are second career students. Our youngest student right now, I think, is 17. You do have to be 18 to be hired, but you can enroll in classes at 17. And then our oldest student right now, I believe, is 63. We have had students as old as 69. We do have a group of students in their 40s who are doing career changes, late 30s, early to mid 40s. Okay. All right. Want to go to do we have anything else here? No, I think we can go to the next slide. Okay, cool.
All right. And this is how to get started. So what you would do first, we do have an interest form, and that URL, like I said, will be posted here just in a few minutes. You submit the interest form, and in that form, it also shows you all of the pathways, not only our skilled trades, which are 2 nights a week, and certificate programs, but also you would have the option to see what is available in the degree diploma side as well, which their program works a little differently. But once you complete the interest form and decide which pathway you're interested in, you would be sent to the right career navigator to explain that program. You would then obviously have to complete any eligibility requirements that you would be notified of. And then once those have been met, you would meet personally with the career navigator, or virtually, I should say. You would have you would have a meeting then with Via, a personal virtual meeting with Via to explain the program and to help you with enrollment.
And just answering a question in the chat, they're full-time 40 hours a week positions are the apprenticeships. Overtime availability depends on the company. Some companies offer a lot of overtime and some companies don't offer any. So it would depend on the company.
With the certificate skill trades program, they are designed for you to work 40 hours during the day, and then you would have class either Monday and Wednesday nights or Tuesday and Thursdays from 6 to 9 or 9:30. So that you are able to work a full-time job during the day, or with the company full-time during the day, and then you would take your classes at night.
Okay. And our overtime could slightly reduce the number of hours of apprenticeship to complete the program, but it would have to be a whole lot of overtime to make any difference. So I wouldn't plan on that. And as far as type for electrical companies, there are 3 areas of electrical work: residential, commercial, and industrial. Industrial are people like Pepsi Bottling Company, which is one of our companies and has electrical apprentices who work in their factory. Within those 3 areas, there are 2 types of electrical work. There's service, which is where you're doing maintenance, repair, and inspection on existing systems. And then there's a new system or new build, which is where you're installing new systems from scratch. We have all 3 areas and both kinds in our program. So
Yeah.
all types of companies are represented. We do have some larger companies that are do multiple types of work or multiple kinds of areas of work. And then we have companies that just specialize in one. Okay, so
And
those would be
our
the types of companies.
Yes.
Pardon
And
me?
as far as the overtime, just to speak to that, you are still required to take a certain amount of related instruction classes. So even though if you worked overtime and got your hours in, you may not be finished with your related instruction, so you would still be an apprentice. So the overtime doesn't really knock off very much time from an apprenticeship. You're still looking at between 3.5 to 4 years to complete the program. Okay.
Okay.
And then this, if you have any other questions, I'm going to post the URL right here. So this is the website that will give you more information. And then
Is
yeah,
it still WakeWorks?
I think it is. The email still is
Oh,
WakeWorks. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
it is.
okay.
Yep. So, and then if
Yeah,
you follow that, if you go to that website, it will actually take you to an interest form that you can fill out and then to start the process of trying to join our program.
okay. And two questions in the chat. When do classes begin? Our next classes will be beginning in late January. So if you are interested in beginning in late January, you would want to go ahead and start the process now. The application process, if you have to take the TABE, usually takes about 6 weeks. If you have already taken college level English and math classes, you could be waived out of the TABE, but you won't know that. So I would, encourage you to go ahead and get started sometime in the next couple weeks if you're interested in enrolling for late January, our late January start. And as far as the apprenticeship and the degree program, again, we have a lot of different opportunities at Wake Tech. There are continuing education classes where you can just go and get just a certificate in residential wiring, which may help you get a helper position or do some things around the house. We have our program, which we just explained to you. We have a diploma, we have a degree. The difference with the diploma and degree is those are Wake Tech certifications rather than national credentials, but they can also lead to jobs, again, in the electrical trades. You wouldn't be a journey worker. You wouldn't have the earning potential that you have with the journey worker certificate, but it is a foot in the door to the electrical trades. And if you're interested in eventually going on to electrical engineering or something like that, it can be a great start for that as well. The best thing to do is to fill out the interest form and put on the interest form that you're interested in both types of electrical or both types of HVAC or whatever trade you're interested in. And then you'll be connected with both career navigators, both me and Monica Faulkner, who is our career navigator over on the credit side. And we can talk to you about your personal interest and your personal goals and help you decide what program is best for you. Okay. Do you know anything about electrical vehicle charging tech program? No, I do not know anything about it. I do know that we are rapidly expanding our electrical vehicle program, and that would be over in automotive. So you would want to contact the admissions department and tell them you're interested in the automotive program. And then they will give you information about that program, and you could specifically talk with them about the EV program that they have there. Is there? No, there is not a test necessarily at the end of the program to pass. But there are tests that are given throughout North Carolina for some, like if you want to have your own business in a trade, sometimes you have a test like that. All of our classes are module-based classes. So instead of having a midterm and a final, every class is broken into 1 to 3 week modules. At the end of that module, you'll have a multiple choice test on the computer and a performance test in the lab, and both of those are pass-fail. You have to pass all of the modules to pass the class, but you can retake modules as many times to make sure that you pass. Our goal is not to like grades and GPA and all that kind of stuff. We don't even really track grades or anything like that, or you don't have a GPA with our program. our goal is that you can use the material in the field. We want to know that you can do it. So with someone in a small business center, you would want to go onto the Wake Tech website. Just a question for those of you not looking at the chat, how to make an appointment with the Small Business Center. Go onto the Wake Tech website and search for the Small Business Center, and you will be taken to their page, and they have contact information there that you can reach out to contact one of their staff. Okay. Any other questions? And the chat is quiet. Dun, dun, dun. If you're not feeling comfortable with the chat or you don't know how to use it, you are welcome to unmute your mic and just ask the question at this point. It is easier usually to do it through the chat, but we can also just take them orally if you would like to ask a question that way. That's fine as well. I want to make sure that we do get all of your questions answered. Oh, and it looks like we just had it put up in the chat for, thank you, Maribel, for putting up the link to the Small Business Center. Who would you meet to talk in person to school? I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Shashan, if you could, like you'd like an in-person appointment to talk about Wake Tech in general or the trades, or yeah. If you can, okay. Typically you would still start by filling out our interest form so that we could get you to the right person. And then after that, you would you could request an in-person meeting instead of an online meeting, a virtual meeting. Also, if you are in need of any kind of accommodations that would make an online meeting difficult, we can meet in person to meet that way as well. Okay. Any other questions? All right, well,
Hello, madam. Good afternoon. I have one question regarding this apprenticeship opportunity. This program, do we have to pay anything to the college?
No, our program is completely free. The only thing that you would have to do is you would have to be legal to work in the United States, and you would have to eventually get a job as an apprenticeship, as an apprentice. But you know, that would be paying you, that would not be paying us. All of our classes and tuition and things are paid for through a grant. So there is no charge to students for participation.
Okay, then only thing is that we have to, we should have a legal work permit in US.
Yes, you must have a legal work permit to participate in our program because you're being hired by private companies.
Okay, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Uh-huh. Another class in the chat, at the end of the program, are we going to attain a title? You would have, your title would be journey worker.
Journey worker, right? Not master. Yeah.
Yeah, master requires another several years and quite a lot more of on the job and experience to get your master. But the journey worker is required to get your master. So if your goal is to be a master electrician, you have to be a journey worker electrician first. And the first year, do we go to school full time? You would go to school part-time during the first year. You would go to school 2 nights a week from 6 to 9 in the evening. So you would either be Monday, Wednesday, 6 to 9, or Tuesday, Thursday, 6 to 9.
Right. And there are 5 classes. So you would start out in core, which is our basic class. which every trade takes, and then you would take levels 1 through 4 in your trade of choice. So electrical, carpentry, or HVAC. And they are all evening classes.
Tracy, Tracy, my name is Radhika. Paramedic, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am actually one small question. I mean, this is my first time doing logging in as a virtual open house with you guys. I'm a former student at Wake Tech Community College. And the only question is, like, I'm looking for, besides my education program point of view, I am looking for a possible part-time job. I'm not, however, right now I've not fully got situated with my admissions part yet, but I'm working towards that. My only question to you is, will the apprenticeship apply for former students that former Waytech students? Will that apply for me?
So no, apprenticeship is for people who are currently taking classes. However, if you go to our career services department on the Wake Tech website, there is a handshake job board, which has job postings just for students and alumni. And career services can also help you in applying for those. If you decided that you wanted to go back and take additional credentials from Wake Tech, then you could take apprenticeship programs related to those credentials. But if you've already graduated or completed your associate's degree or diploma and you don't want to take any more classes, then unfortunately, no, we can't offer apprenticeship opportunities.
Sorry, ma'am, to interrupt you. My situation is a little bit different. I did not finish any of my basic skills through Wake Tech, and I got in contact with the career services, and I spoke with Career Lens. I believe is one of the ladies that works at Career Lens, and she did give me the app for the handshake. But however, because of my admissions issues, I'm not able to get an email or anything set up with it yet. I'm still working on that, but I just had that one question, if it worked for former WATEC students or not.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. You have to be currently in class. Yep. And as far as the campuses is concerned, our program is housed on the Beltline campus, which is on 440 in the middle of Raleigh. That's the campus we are on. It looks like Monica just, thank you, Monica. Monica posted the career services link in the chat if people are looking at career services. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, I see. Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I have a question. What age how early can you start this program at Wake Tech doing the evening classes?
You can start when you're 17.
Okay, thank you.
You have to be 18 to have a job, and you have to have a job to start level 2. But you could potentially take a year of classes. That would be the core construction and the level 1 before you are hired. Generally, we recommend, if you're not going to be 18 in about 6 months, that you would wait to start, because then you can get to the end of the level 1, and if you didn't get hired, you're sort of sitting there.
Yeah.
But you can start, 17 and a half or something like that. Or if you have someone who's graduating high school in January, absolutely they could take core for the spring semester.
Okay. And do you have to start at the beginning of the course? Do you join? How does that work with the
We have core classes that start twice a year. They start fall semester, August through the end of September. And we have core classes starting in January, February. Every now and then we'll have a later start one in March. And so you would start with one of those core classes. Now, if someone is coming in with 2 or more years of experience in the field, they can try and test out of core and start at level 1. But they would have to be able to document 2 years of work experience in construction trades.
Okay. So for the fall classes in August, how soon before do you have to register for those classes in August?
Generally, I recommend that you start the process by the beginning of June at the very latest.
Okay.
Typically, those classes will be full by the middle of July. So if you wait till like July, they'll be full and you'll have to wait till January. You can start the process as early as, March.
Uh-huh.
And you can reach out in March and start the process and get your TABE done and meet with me and, be on the list and ready to go by the end of April or May. And then you have a spot and it's guaranteed for August. That's great too. But I would say the first week in June is the absolute latest you could start to apply for August and September classes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And then
What
there
would
was a question that came in about excluding anyone from the adult test. If you have college prior completion of college level math and English with a passing grade, obviously, then you would be excluded from taking that test. But otherwise, you would have to take it.
Yeah, as far as the question is, when in the first year should we plan on starting our employment? If you start in January, your first opportunity to get a job would be the very end of March or beginning of April. Generally about 2 months into the program, we will have a hiring event where we have companies come in and you interview with them, and then they make offers. If you don't receive an offer in your core hiring event, which would be the one that if you start in January would be March or April, our other hiring event is usually in October, sometimes November, but usually October. We have them twice a year. That would be your level 1 hiring event. If you don't get a job in your level 1 hiring event, you and I will do a one-on-one job search. And that can go for another 3 to 4 months. So it can be anywhere from 2 months into the program to a little over a year to get a position. I will stress that probably about 10% of our students do not get jobs. It is competitive, and it is in some situations depending on how you present in an interview. So yeah, so there is that in there, just like it would be for any other job.
And if you
Okay.
don't receive a job by your end of your second class, which is your level 1 class, then you would not continue in the program. You would get a certificate of completion of pre-apprenticeship, and then you would actually not transition then to an apprentice.
Right. And you could then come back in the future. You're basically paused in the program. If you found a job with a company that was credentialed to offer apprenticeships later, you could absolutely come
Right.
back into the program.
Yes.
But you can't move forward into level 2 unless you're working as an apprenticeship, because so much of what the training that happens on the job. There are basically 3 components of your journey workers credential. One are the classes. Second is the hours worked, which you have to have those 3 years of full-time employment. And then the third one are competencies, or the skills that you're taught on the job. And when you're hired, you're given this huge list of skills that they're going to teach you on the job. And the company will be teaching you those skills and eventually signing off that you can do them independently at a professional level for every one of those skills on that list over that 3-year period. So, because of that, you really have to be started by the beginning of your level 2 class to get through the on-the-job training that goes with the classes. So it's really important that they happen together, and that's why you get paused if you're not working. You can't continue the program after level 1. Okay. Any other questions? All right, well, we've got about 10 minutes left in the session. I think that's pretty much all Tracy and I had, so we're going to go wrap up and call it a day. If you have any additional questions that you wanted to talk to us individually about, like, not in the chat or something personal, I'm going to stay on until 6 o'clock, so about 10 more minutes. But all the rest of you, if you don't have a question, that's personal, I would just thank you so much for attending our session, and hope that you'll consider an apprenticeship opportunity, because it is really a great opportunity.